Assault! Freda assaulted by Reece Walsh. After NRL Grand Final kiss, full controversy. In a single heartbeat, under the blinding lights of a core stadium, a celebration of triumph turned into a moment that left an entire nation gasping. Did Reece Walsh just assault Brianna Freda with an unwanted kiss after the greatest grand final in NRL history? October 6th, 2024. The Penrith Panthers have just completed the unthinkable, a fourth straight premiership, edging the Melbourne Storm in a final that will be spoken about for decades. The siren sounds, the confetti falls, and the sea of black jerseys erupts into pure ecstasy. As Nathan Cleary lifts the Proven Summons trophy, the cameras hunt for emotion, for joy, for tears. And there on the podium stands NRL reporter Brianna Freda, microphone in hand, waiting to interview the players who have just etched their names into immortality. Please like, share, and subscribe for more Sport Talk content. She turns to Reece Walsh, the electric fullback whose speed and swagger have made him the poster boy of the modern game. He is drenched in champagne, eyes wild with adrenaline, the weight of a childhood dream now resting on his shoulders. Freda asks the question every fan wants answered. Reece, you've spoken about this moment since you were a little kid. How does it feel right now? The stadium roars behind them, a coliseum of noise. And then it happens. Walsh leans in, not for the microphone, but for her cheek, a kiss. Quick, impulsive, euphoric. The kind of gesture you see in movies when soldiers return from war or when brothers reunite after years apart. But this is not a movie. This is live television. And the person on the receiving end is a professional doing her job. The crowd doesn't notice at first. The commentators barely register it. But the camera does. And in that frozen frame, everything changes. Freda's body language is immediate. A slight recoil, a polite smile that doesn't reach her eyes, the professional mask snapping into place, even as shock flickers beneath it. She continues the interview without missing a beat, because that's what women in sport have always had to do. Within minutes, social media explodes. Did Reece Walsh just kiss her without consent? That looks so uncomfortable. He assaulted her on national television. The word assault begins trending before the trophy has even been carried off the stage. Clips are slowed down, zoomed in, dissected frame by frame. Some call it harmless celebration in the heat of the moment. Others call it a violation that should never be excused, no matter the context. The divide is instant, brutal, and deeply revealing. In the days that follow, the footage travels further than any try Walsh has ever scored. International outlets pick it up. Workplace harassment seminars use it as a case study. Mothers show it to their daughters and say, "This is why we teach you boundaries, even when someone is famous." Yet something else emerges amid the outrage, a conversation about joy, about culture, about the blurred lines when emotion runs higher than reason. Polynesian players speak of cheek kissing as greeting, as love, as family. Feminists speak of bodily autonomy as non-negotiable, no matter the intent. And through it all, two human beings are left to navigate the wreckage of a 3-second moment that neither of them will ever forget. What does it say about us that a night of pure sporting glory can be overshadowed by a kiss? That triumph and trauma can occupy the same breath? It says that sport is never just sport. It is a mirror, and sometimes the reflection is uncomfortable. It says that even in our happiest moments, we are still learning how to treat one another with dignity. It says that consent is not a mood killer. It is the foundation of every healthy celebration. It says that a warrior on the field can still be a student off it, and that growth is the truest measure of character. Reece Walsh releases a statement 48 hours later, quiet, humble, heartfelt. "I got caught up in the moment, and I crossed a line. I am deeply sorry to Brianna and to anyone who felt uncomfortable watching that. I am listening, I am learning, and I will do better." Freda, with the grace that has defined her career, responds publicly. "I accept Reece's apology. Emotions were high. Lessons have been learned on all sides. Let's move forward with respect." In those two statements lies the quiet power of accountability and forgiveness, something far rarer than any premiership ring. Years from now, when we remember the 2024 Grand Final, we will speak of Cleary's clutch plays, of Luai's smile, of the Panthers dynasty. But we will also remember the kiss that wasn't asked for, the apology that was freely given, and the woman who handled it all with a strength that deserved its own trophy. Because sport at its best is not about the scoreboard alone. It is about the stories we tell afterward, the ones that remind us we are all still growing, still human, still capable of turning mistakes into moments that make us better. So the next time you see a player leap into the stands, or a champion cry in an interview, or a young star learn a hard lesson in front of millions, remember October 6th, 2024. Remember that even on the greatest night of someone's life, respect remains the ultimate victory.